Welcome to Castrol Activ Champions, our journey with Castrol, where we look at so many great cricketers and look at what made them champions. We started with Sourav Ganguly, and today we are going to look at Wasim Akram, for years Pakistan's go-to player. Much like Castrol Activ, whose active bonds are continuously protecting your bike engine, whether it's running or it's off. Wasim Akram did that for Pakistan for many years, most notably in that 1992 World Cup. That's what you remember him for. You remember Alan Lamb and Chris Lewis with balls that snaked in venomously and left the batsman almost clueless. But the truth is, Pakistan would never have got that far. They got into this must-win game against New Zealand. You win here, you're in the knockouts of the World Cup. And Wasim Akram knocked out New Zealand for 166. He took the top order out, 4 for 32, set up an easy win. And the rest, as every fan of the game will say, is history. That final will go down as Wasim Akram's crowning moment. I remember we were doing commentary in Australia in 2003-04, and I was at breakfast. Irfan Pathan was sitting a couple of tables in front of me, and as I looked up from my omelette, I suddenly saw Irfan Pathan's jaw drop. And he was like this little kid who's just seen his hero. I looked around, and there casually, with the swag that so defines him, Wasim Akram had entered for breakfast. Eventually they got introduced. And throughout that tour, there was this bond that started to develop between Wasim Akram and Irfan Pathan. And I see Wasim Akram coming up there, planting a stump on the outfield on all the practice pitches, and all the Indian fast bowlers turned up there. It was almost like he was taking a class. Apparently Ashish Nehra had asked him, but my eyes were on Irfan Pathan based on what I had seen. And as I said, that bond just grew. And one day Wasim Akram came into the commentary box and very excited and saying, I talked to Irfan about the slower ball as he bowled the slower ball. It was almost like the Guru Shishya thing that we saw, where he would tell Irfan to do something and then come and check out whether he was doing it in the nets. And this is a quality that some people might find difficult to believe, given that he was Pakistani, he was Indian. And I asked him about this once, and he said, you know, when I was growing up, all kinds of people helped me. He said, I was a kid in Lancashire, England players would come and help me. He said, I sat a couple days down and asked him about the cricket ball and how he moved it, and he came and taught me. And he said, there's no such thing as who am I and where am I from. We're all in this cricket community and we help each other. When the IPL came around, and what a player Wasim Akram would have been at the IPL. Oh, he would have gone and smashed 25 in 10 balls. He would have bowled the best death overs. But the IPL came after Wasim had finished. And so it was inevitable when the Kolkata Knight Riders were putting together a team that Wasim Akram would be asked to join them, because Joy Bhattacharya, who was team director there, knew Wasim Akram from his ESPN days. And he tells a good story about Wasim.
See, the greatness about Wasim's talent spotting was two things. One is he saw potential immediately. B is he wouldn't tinker with 5 things, because he knew exactly how much to tell a bowler. You know, one part of it is when somebody like a Jaydev Unadkat is bowling, there may be 15 things that need to be changed. But Wasim would talk to him about only 1 or 2 of those things, because he said, if I go and tell the bowler, okay, this is wrong, 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 that guy is going to look at me and say, how am I ever going to become a good bowler? So he'd go there and said, हाँ JD, nice, very nice. थोड़ा सा ये जो finger है ना, बस इतना कर लेना. That's all. So he knew exactly how much to tell a bowler, because he said that, you know what, if I give him 10 pieces of advice, 9 of them, he's just going to get bogged down, and none of them he'd do right. I'll give him that one thing, the rest he'll pick up by himself, not to worry about it.
Well, as I knew Wasim Akram and got to know him better as time went along, there was always that slight element of awe. I mean, to watch Wasim Akram play cricket was a very special feeling. And so he was the kind of person who attracted attention. So we're having dinner together, and you tended to look at what Wasim Akram was doing, when all of a sudden he put his hand in his bag, pulled out a syringe, pulled his shirt up and started jabbing himself. And as he was doing that, he looked at me and there he said, "Dar to nahi lag raha na aapko?" I said, no, why? He said, no, this is what I do. He said, I've got diabetes. And I didn't realize it was that bad. That before every single meal that Wasim Akram had, he actually used to pull out his syringe and jab himself. And I realized in the course of many conversations afterwards how much he knew about diabetes and insulin and pharmaceutical companies. And then he told me about the work he does with children as an ambassador for diabetes. And he said, I've seen children cry in front of me, and when I tell these stories, I see hope in their eyes again. And I thought that's a lovely thing to do, because it's not always that people go back into schools and, in a sense, protect vulnerable minds. If you're 11, 12 years old and you've got diabetes, you're starting to think, oh my God, why me? And then to have someone like Wasim Akram coming and saying, lead your life with discipline and you can actually use it to your benefit. It may or may not be true, but it's a good thing to hear. And so it's a compelling story, isn't it? This journey of Wasim Akram. From a raw youngster from Pakistan to someone who held his own in the fashion capitals of the world. From a tearaway fast bowler to someone who you could rely on and who became really good at bowling under pressure for Pakistan. Performing under pressure was his hallmark, much like Castrol Activ, whose active bonds continuously protecting the engine of your bike, whether it's running or it's off. And so that was the journey of Wasim Akram on Castrol Activ Champions. Every week, we'll bring you a new one.